Welcome back. Today's video we're going to be doing another 1940s brush out. So for the hair prep I did use my Amazon rollers again, these pink curlers with the wire, and as far as the setting pattern goes I did go for a middle part this time. So I rolled this row back and then this row forward from the crown down. So there isn't much setting pattern involved, which is why I didn't film it. If you are curious on how I did put these rollers in, I do have a separate video for that beginner-friendly wet set tutorial. To start out, I'm just going to remove the base rollers, all of the rollers that were rolled down. So I'm keeping the top layer in for now. This way we can start brushing out the curls from the bottom, working our way up in layers. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of pomade to my fingers. Finger combing that pomade through the hair will help loosen the curls and prevent frizz. And now I've got my brush ready. As always, for the brush out, I'm using my Denman 7-row styling brush. And again, the curliness of the style is completely up to you. You can just lightly brush it through and leave it very fluffy and curly, or you can comb and smooth and use clips for shaping and create waves. I tend to kind of style as I go because I really never know how things are going to turn out. I kind of have a goal in mind, but I don't really get my hopes up in case something is a fail. Of course, the goal that I had in mind for this hairstyle is based off of a beautiful style worn by Lana Turner, but we'll get to that in the styling later. Now that we've moderately brushed out the base, I'm going to start adding those other rollers. And I'm going to apply a very small amount of pomade, avoiding the root area to prevent extra oil. Following with some finger combing and testing the hair for shaping. So the way I did the rolling, I was hoping to get a little bit of volume here on the top and create this nice swoop above the temple. I really wasn't sure how to do it, so this was kind of a trial and error style for me. Now we can begin to brush out those top curls with the rest of the hair, adding each section and smoothing it out. The brush out does take a little bit of time, so it may require some patience. If you're starting to look like a lioness, you're doing it right. If there's one thing I've learned about these vintage brush outs, it's that they often look worse before they get better. But you'll know you did your roller setting correctly when it takes you forever to brush it out. And honestly, you could just wear it like this, with a hair scarf, or a snood, or a couple of hair clips. But I decided to keep brushing it out. You can achieve such a variety of hairstyles from one simple setting pattern. And as someone who has very fine, straight, and thin hair, it's a lot of fun to feel like I have a lot more going on my head. The heart shape hairstyle and face shape was very popular in the 1940s, and typically a lot of middle part styles really try to emphasize that heart shape. So I'm going to try and utilize that method. Based off of how I set the rollers, there is a natural lift at the hairline, and we can embrace that shape with the comb. And to encourage that swoop to come back around, I'm going to hold it in place with a duckbill clip. Fine-tuning and correcting the hair as much as possible to get the most symmetry in the style. The one tricky part about middle parts is it's hard to get things looking perfectly symmetrical. It did take me a couple of tries before I got the sides looking mostly even. keep in mind while you're putting your rollers in is the symmetry of the style once it's brushed out, keeping those rows and sections even. This will also result in you achieving a more defined wave once it's brushed out. It did take a very long time of me brushing out the hair for it to get to this point. So if you don't have that much time, you can always wait to day 2 and your hair will look like this more naturally. I'm using my comb to smooth over the top and my hand to guide the hair under. The amount of time it takes to brush out your hair will be different for each person. If your hair is on the longer side, the weight of your hair will help pull down those curls to weigh down the style. And now that the brush out is complete, we can begin with the styling. My inspiration for the styling of this brush out is from one of my favorite films, Marriage is a Private Affair, starring Lana Turner. In a few scenes of the movie, Lana is seen wearing a beautiful, curly brush out with a middle part and what looks like a long bang. So I'm going to try and recreate that process with my hair combs. I'm going to try and recreate her bang section by pulling the hair up and holding it in place with a hair comb. And you can check out the link below for where I get all of my vintage hair combs. And I'm securing those waves with my comb and just a touch of hairspray. And to achieve a little bit more fluff and curl, I'm pulling that piece of hair up and securing it with a bobby pin. Now I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side. To further define those grooves and waves, I'm adding some Duckbill Clips, followed by a little bit of hairspray to set everything in place. And you can continue to fluff and brush out the bottom as needed. I love how understated and glamorous this hairstyle turned out. It's soft and angelic and captures everything I love about the old Hollywood era. I do not typically wear a middle part, so it was fun trying something different, especially when it gives me the chance to emulate one of my favorite old Hollywood starlets.